And also this evening, we're taking a closer look at the writers and actors strike simultaneously gripping Hollywood right now. Burbank, California Mayor Konstantine Anthony is leading the city at ground zero for these strikes. He's an actor. He's a SAG-AFTRA member himself. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you. Appreciate being here.
Listen, this is a busy time for you, clearly. It's also a toasty time out here in California. And we want to talk with you first, maybe as a member of the Actors Union, if we can, right? We've covered a lot of the biggest issues that we're seeing here. We're talking about AI. We're talking about residuals. But the studios say they have offered up a historic pay increase. What's your response to that? It's laughter.
Sure, that's what the studios say. I've been a SAG member since 2006, so I was on the 07-08 strike lines, and we were fighting for the same stuff then. Back then it was, we want a portion of DVD and Blu-ray sales, and they were refusing to give it to us. They eventually capitulated, and now we've moved on to streaming. Right now, most working actors do not make any money off of the streaming services. The writers don't, the directors don't. Anybody who's working above the line, they put in their labor, they create all this wonderful content, and then they're just not getting that pay back to them.
And that's what you're seeing as an actor. But when we talk to you as a mayor, there are businesses that are not, you know, involved in making the movies, but they support the people that do. We're talking about the coffee shops, the flower shops, the dry cleaners. They are suffering. What are you seeing as a mayor?
So this is the secondary economy that I've been talking about for weeks now. We have dry cleaners, we have restaurants, we have auto repair shops, daycare centers that are just empty because the people who normally work in the studios simply aren't working. They don't have any pay to facilitate the economic cycling of money in the local economy. But further from that, I think there's a big change from this strike versus the one 15 years ago, because the local industry knows that if the writers, if the actors, if the people working in the industry get better pay, then that means there's more money in their pocket, and they will be spending that locally.
You're also getting a lot of support from other labor unions. We're hearing this is the summer of strikes, right? But we're seeing, you know, some of LAUSD, the teachers union, the service workers, the hotel workers coming out and supporting you. And in a way that sort of highlights what this strike is really about, right? This is about the working actor, not the giant megastars.
Yeah, and I want people back at home who maybe don't live in New York or LA, they're struggling to put food on their table and keep a roof over their head. Why is it important for them to see, you know, George Clooney and Tom Cruise out on the strike lines? Well, we're trying to bring notice to all of the executives, all of these giant corporations, that we aren't going to take it anymore, and you shouldn't either. UPS is going on strike, Starbucks, Amazon. It's a movement.
Let's talk about this. We've seen in neighboring Los Angeles, neighboring to us here in Burbank, the studios are allegedly trimming trees to reduce the shade, to make it a little bit harder for picketers. There's certain things that are allegedly going on like that, accusations across the board. But as a mayor, in your position, how do you straddle the line between supporting the picketers, supporting SAG-AFTRA, but also supporting the biggest employers in your city?
So in Burbank, we have huge economic impacts with what's going on with the studios. Obviously, Warner Brothers and Disney, we have Nickelodeon, we have Cartoon Network. They're all major employers in the city, and we do very well. We're actually a very pro-business city, and we work with all of our big studios to make sure they have the economic growth that they need. But at the end of the day, the voters, they're the members who work in those studios. They're WGA and SAG and IATSE members, so they put me in this seat. And so for me, I have to be able to balance that, and we have to be able to protect the people that are out there doing their First Amendment picketing.
Where do we go from here? Is there an end in sight, do you think?
The last strike in 07-08 lasted just over 100 days. The strikes back in 1960, where it was a dual strike, were over 3 months as well. We're closing in on that. We're just past day 80. So we think there's going to be a break soon. If you've noticed, a lot of these big streaming companies, their stock has taken a huge hit, and I can't imagine that they would go any further.
Well, Mayor Anthony, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time tonight. All right. Also, we have a quick note for our viewers. ABC's parent company, Disney, is a member of the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, negotiating with SAG-AFTRA and the WGA. Also, late today, the Alliance issued a statement saying that they've offered SAG-AFTRA members more than $1 billion in wage and other compensation increases and unprecedented protections against AI. They also called SAG's claims about negotiations misleading.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.